64-bit. It only runs on 32-bit. For some reason, I've had multiple problems with it. And the long and short of that is that I'm going to be switching these scenes by hand. So if you guys happen to see that I've forgotten to switch the scene, just yell in chat and I'll see it. I'm going to try and really stay on top of it. But yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP Starcraft Global number 11. Make sure to click that like button on the stream. Share the stream if you got any community discords or anything like that. We're trying to pump those numbers up, the rookie numbers. Not really rookie numbers, but yeah, we're trying to get more people involved on this new platform, which has run very, very fluidly for the past 11 events we've done on it. So, without further ado, in the top right, it's going to be Björn from Team Rebellion. And in the bottom left, I don't know what I'm going to pronounce. His name is so hard. Johan, I believe, is the proper pronunciation. And for those of you that are wondering where Falcon Paladin is, he's going to be joining us probably by the time the second best of 5 hits, if I had to guess. He'll be about 40 minutes late. He's got, well, he's got an outing to go to, so good for him. But we didn't want to delay Starcraft just because one of us was going to be a little bit late, so you guys are stuck with me for now. Now, we do have Zaun going for a very, very quick probe scout to see that Björn has got a Rax, and he's going to be looking around. He's like, what are you going for? And the thing is, Björn is going for a second Rax. Now, as far as I know with this build, there's actually nothing that's going to give this away for Zaun, other than the fact that Björn might be building his command center on that high ground, or that the timings might be slightly off. Zaun, he is looking around. He hasn't found the proxy yet, and he probably won't by the time that first Marauder is going to be rolling around. Björn's going to mine a couple of minerals with this SCV, but that boy is on standby until he can come on in and build a bunker. Zaun, though, definitely sniffs something out and is already building a shield battery, which is incredibly important to this early defense. We may get to see that battery overcharge ability get used. And Marauders, they deal a lot of damage to Stalkers, which is what Zaun is going for, but they are not able to power through a battery when they're few in number anyway. Now, Björn, he's got a few Marines crossing the map already. Zaun is scouting out, saying, hey, that's a Rax with a reactor building up. What is going on here? It's going to be quite a powerful punch from Björn. Not just like a single proxy Rax, 2 Marauders with concussive shell coming on in. They're going to try and burn through that first Stalker. There's the battery overcharge coming into play. However, a lot more firepower is available as those 3 Marines roll up. Zaun immediately realizes the severity of this, pops his battery overcharge very early, and then starts building not 1, but 2 more batteries. So Zaun seems to be on point, getting ready for this. Look at these probes. Very cinematic. 2 probes and 3 stalkers. They got their attack dogs with them. Then, yeah, Björn just pulls out. Very mature decision by Björn to just pull out for now, realizing I'm not going to break through this. And then just getting up stim, even building it on the proxy rack. So he's kind of got to hope that that doesn't get taken out for the next 70 seconds. However, the Terran player, he's got a command center on the way behind this. Zaun did invest in quite a bit to defend against this in the form of 2 batteries. However, he did cancel one of them. So very good read by Zaun. And Björn, he's probably going to be gearing up towards a second phase of this rush. Follow it, like, he knows he's not going to break through it with just a few units, so he's going to try and do it with stim. Now, Zaun is moving out on the map, seeing all those Marauders, and he's got to be so careful because there is no blink yet, and we've got concussive shell out. Yeah, looks like there's quite a few of you in chat. Hello Ace, hello Miro, hello Phoenix. This game is so tense. Yeah, it definitely is already starting off to be very tense. And oh my gosh, Björn is just pulling the boys. He's going for the dirtiest win in history. Stim is 13 seconds out, so the boys are a little bit early here. But Bjorn is getting ready for this. Zaun, I don't think, knows this is coming his way. And oh man, there is one sentry, so one force field goes down. Bjorn's going to start working away on this gateway. He's also going to have the ability to stim his units soon enough. Zaun has got maybe 2-3 more force fields in the tank. There's 2 more being dropped. And we'll see if Zaun just keeps on warping in more sentries to hold this choke point. I think there's 2 more force fields, so that's quite powerful. Pardon me, it looks like there's just 1 more. That is the last one, so Bjorn, can he read this and go for it? He is. There's the stim. Probes are now being pulled for Zaun. There's an immortal building, but it's not yet done. No battery overcharges, that's still on cooldown. Zaun has to retreat to his main base. The immortal pops out, however, it's not rallied to the back or anything, so it's easy pickings. Bjorn is going for the throat. He's stimming on in. Force field misses, so some of the bio sneaks on by, and the dirty win is secured. GG, as the first game goes to Bjorn. I love it. When your cheese fails, well, when your initial opening doesn't get the win, just go for... That was like beyond a double down. That was like a triple down from Bjorn. Really, really impressively done there. And that's the thing. That's a fine line. Like, you gotta... It's hard to know as the Protoss whether your opponent's doubling down or macroing out of it. And Zaun, like, he was fairly ready for that. Just the SCV is, like, it really requires a response. Maybe Zaun should have pulled his probes earlier. Something like that. Well done by Bjorn, though. That is a great way to start the series as a Terran player. Looks like both players are ready, so we're going to go ahead and load on into the next match. Yeah, that force field definitely did hurt Zaun. However, his natural was already broken, so he may have already had lost there. I think it's safe to say that he wasn't in a good position with or without that force field. Like, he didn't have that many units left. And here we go into match number 2. Just like that. I said Falcon Paladin may join us after this series, but we may be into the next one by the time he gets here. Hopefully not, but depends how fast this goes. We do have Joan in the upper left and in the bottom right. It's Rebellion's Bjorn. Let me just go ahead and pull up Zaun's Liquipedia page so we can take a look and see if he's on a team. Looks like he's presently teamless. So, if you guys happen to represent a Starcraft 2 org or anything like that, go ahead and... Yeah, go ahead and look at Zaun. He might be a hot pickup for some of these upcoming Starcraft 2 events that we've got. He clearly is looking good. Like, the initial defense of that proxy was incredible, just the doubling down is what caught him off guard. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there is indeed a Matcherino for you guys to check out today. Make sure to go use that coupon code. You can add 25 cents to the prize pool for free just by clicking that button. It doesn't cost you a dime. Then we do have... Yeah, so there is ways to support that. And of course, go ahead and click that follow button, guys. We're trying to hit 100 followers here on SOOP. Get you guys making accounts and joining the platform. I think it's a very, very good platform compared to previous iterations we've had of Afrika and SOOP. Like, this is very darn good. The scouting probe for Joan goes down. And then, yeah, that's gonna make him a little bit uncomfortable, I imagine, after the previous game. He doesn't see the high ground CC. For all he knows, this is the same build. Now, Bjorn is just going for a factory in the main, the CC on the high ground, so nowhere near as aggressive as the previous match. I really do like all the scouting from Joan, though. It's a very mature decision. And yeah, click that like button on the stream too, ladies and gentlemen. The scouting probe is on a mission. I'm not sure what skin this is that the Protoss player is representing. However, it's very, very detailed. Very cool. Meanwhile, Bjorn, I believe that is the original. This is a very bright map, though, Whispers of Gold. Another scouting probe just barely escapes for Zaun. That's very nice. I think that would hurt his morale a little bit, losing a second probe. Bjorn seems to be on point. The fact that he's looking for opportunities like that. I mean, if you're being a lazy player, you're not going to think, huh, maybe I can get that probe if it's lurking around. So I'm really liking that from Bjorn. And we're going to see whether Zaun can defend against the shenanigans that Bjorn is throwing at him. Because that seems to be the way Zaun wants to play. He's not been the guy cheesing or opening up aggressively. And that is the sign of a very good Protoss player. Someone that's confident, that says, if I can just get to the mid-game safely, then I can play it out and play the game the way I want to play. It's not always easy to do that. Scouting probe does its job, finds the medivac full of Marines. Hallucinated Phoenix is chasing after this as well. Actually turns around, so there's Hellions coming on in towards the front. There is that drop inside the main base. The Immortal and 2 Stalkers are going to respond to these Marines. The concern, though, is these Hellions coming on in. There is a sentry present. Good blocking by the Protoss. And so far, deflecting Bjorn. Incredibly well done. The medivac is quite bruised up, so Bjorn's going to have to be careful with that. The Hellions got pushed away. And that is quite a successful for Zaun. Now, it's not the most comfortable position repelling this, because Zaun still knows, he's like, okay, there's still a medivac out there. There's still 3 Hellions out there. And Bjorn is going for a 3 Hellion drop, unsurprisingly. We'll see if he can get any damage done. There is those 2 Stalkers and the Immortal still in place. Will he target down the injured Hellion? Yes, he does. So these Hellions are going to be limited on the damage they get done. Looks like that's 4 killed in total. The medivac stays alive, however, it is kind of stranded. I am a big fan of that for Bjorn. What are you going to do with 3 Hellions as the Terran later in the match? The answer is not much, so trading them for those 4 probes is making the best out of, well, not a terrible situation, just making the best of it, you know? And then we do have another Hallucinated Phoenix coming on in for the Protoss player, keeping eyes on his opponent, seeing that there is that extra racks going up, that there's the tank out. I do like the tank positioning in the bunker of Bjorn. It's a lot of respect to the fact that the match can suddenly turn into being defensive for the Terran. And however, Zaun isn't actually being defensive. He is going for Colossus. And you may say, well, aren't there Colossus timings? Hasn't that been a thing since, well, Colossus have existed? The answer is yes. However, if a Protoss is going to get aggressive, it's going to be much more likely done with Blink. Zaun is going to be sitting back, probably waiting for Blink, waiting for the Forge. He just wants to build that really solid backbone of his army, which I do like. Now, I am a bit concerned for the Protoss player. He's out on the map, not in place to intercept this move out from Bjorn, though. Bjorn is being very sneaky, moving towards the north. Zaun, oh, it's like he's got a sense for this, but he doesn't quite see it. There we go. He's moving towards the north. He's going to run into this Terran army and go, uh-oh, that is a lot of Terran. Now, it doesn't have stim yet. If the Colossus can get a few swipes off, that would be good. However, this is playing with fire. And oh my gosh, the pathing for Zaun costs him a Stalker. As, man, oh man, StarCraft 2 maps are just designed, it seems, to split up your army. Even pro gamers fall victim to that. The Marines, they don't have combat shields, so the Colossus swipes will deal lots of damage to them. However, the 3 tanks are incredibly scary. There's still this Raven at the back of the base for the Protoss, so he's managing multiple things. Charge is ages away. There's no Blink, so it really is on this Colossus, the Immortals, to buy time, but clamping down on an army like this isn't too easy. Zaun is just going to go for it. Those slow Zealots While they don't have charge, they do a very good job buffering. The Immortal targeting down the tanks, the Colossus targeted on the bio. Byun's got a drop going off in the main base. He may actually grab that Colossus. It's going to cost him a bit of the bio, however, so that is painful for Zaun. However, he dislodged the push on his third. The Raven is still alive, lurking around at the back of his base. I'm doing my best to try and observe these players, but they are so fast, and that was quite the double push. Now, Byun does have his third base on position. Command Center is, well, upgrading to an orbital. Mule is dropped, and then Byun is just hitting that 5-rack stride. He's already starting to make Vikings, which I'm a big fan of. I mean, Zaun is obviously committed to these Colossus. He's also a long way away from Blink, so there's a lot of potential for Vikings to maybe hit a timing or something here. Byun, though, he is not one to sit idly by. It doesn't matter what phase in the game it is. Byun will go for drops. That's exactly what he's going for here. Going to potentially find 3 gateways unpowered thanks to killing that one pylon. Now, 2 Colossus are responding to this, but there's Byun. Just up and away he goes. That's the pain of not having Blink from the Protoss. Now, Jaun does have up his third base, or pardon me, his +1 just finished up. Blink is still a long way away. The 4th base is building. And yeah, things are looking pretty darn good. Well, I mean, they're looking alright on both sides. Both players, like, sounds like, oh man, I wish Byun would just leave me alone. And Byun's like, I just really want to deal some damage to this guy. So far, though, I'll say the defense has been quite alright for Zaun. Losing that one Colossus is probably the biggest blow he's taken, but that really is acceptable. It's not like he doesn't have any Colossus. He's got 2 out. I mean, now he's building a Disruptor due to fear of Vikings, which is understandable. There may be a bit of a window here that Byun can hit, as the Protoss player is maybe going to have 1 Disruptor, 2 Colossus against, well, 4 Vikings, soon to be 6. There's going to be Ghosts out on the map, so that's really going to help out. I think Zaun may need to morph these High Templar into Archons, and that's exactly what he's going to do to bolster up his army. And then going to need Psystorm potentially down the line. However, it's just going to be about the next minute or 2 of Zaun trying to survive. There is +2 on the way for the Protoss. If he can stay alive for that, that will definitely help him out. The Colossus will deal more damage before the Vikings are able to pick them off. I mean, the Archons and everything will deal more damage. Just the concern is even staying alive that long, as Byun is looking lethal. That is so many ghosts the Terran has built up to. A Disruptor almost goes down. Zaun really needs to take care of those. A big drop goes into the main base. Is there going to be a recall? The answer is, well, he's about a second away from having the energy, so no recall. One of these robos is going to get picked off. There is a bit of a Zealot run by, however, that is 7 dead probes. Some of this bio is going to get picked off on the way out. The Stalkers may be able to blink eventually, and they do. +2, not quite done, though. That may have been the Medivac death if it was done. That is quite painful for Zaun, though. He's down on army supply, and his army just isn't looking that formidable, which seems kind of ridiculous to say. Like, he's got Disruptors and Colossus. Just the numbers aren't that high. And Byun is lurking. He's got himself 6 Ghosts, 6 Vikings, a lot of bio. The +2 versus just the +1 is nice right now for Zaun. However, Byun's going to have that +1 armor done soon. The Protoss player, though, we really got to give it to him. He's trying to get up a 5th base during all this chaos. Now, the Disruptors are lurking. 1 Nova gets tossed out. That doesn't one-shot the Marauders anymore, but it does make it mighty easy for the Stalkers to pick them off. The pathing almost gets Zaun again. Good reaction, though. Now he's got to deal with this drop in the main base, and he does, as he's got plenty of Stalkers present. Will lose a few more than he'd like due to these Marauders. Can he blink after the Medivac? Yes, he does, and he picks that off. Meanwhile, Zaun is holding on. He's getting up to 5th base, and yeah, we've really got to give it to the Protoss player here. He's held on. He's at 200 supply just about. So actually turning the game around and building a supply lead thanks to this strong economy he's got. Not like Byun has a bad economy. I mean, it's 4 bases versus 5, which is alright for the Terran. Zaun just really has bolstered up his ranks by warping in a ton of Zealots. The Colossus are dead, though, so it is mainly gateway units for the Protoss with the odd Disruptor. Those Archons are like balloons ready to pop. They lost all their shields thanks to the mass EMP of Beyond, and look at how much HP this army is missing due to those EMPs. That is just a big reduction. Snipes even going down from Beyond on the Zealots. He'll take anything he can get. And, I mean, that army for Zaun was looking scary on paper. Well, with the numbers anyway. Just Beyond with Ghosts, with Vikings, he's in a good spot. One of those disruptors does get picked off. Zaun is actually going to go for it, try and take the fight before the Terran can get properly set up. But Beyond knows he's got to kite back in a situation like this, and he does just that. And right now we're witnessing a Protoss try and fight a Terran player with only gateway units for the most part. There's the odd disruptor, but they haven't got that much done. And look at that, Beyond, he is instantly retreating, basically, as soon as he knows a fight's about to go down. Widow Mines, Zaun does split up his army. Disruptor forces the Terran Bio to move forward into the Zealots, however, then Beyond immediately starts retreating again, shaving off these Zealots. I mean, Zaun's warping in 9 Zealots at a time. However, the number seemingly continues to fall. A Disruptor connection is pretty decent there. Supply-wise, though, Zaun is still falling down. He's got 3 Disruptors, 17 Zealots, and 13 Stalkers. What happened to those Archons, those Colossus that he had in his army? The answer is Beyond killed them all, and the Protoss player is not in a comfortable position. As a result, the Terran is getting up a 5th base on location now, and Beyond is just continuing to push Zaun. The Protoss player, he's got a decent number of money, but always about to lose 2 Disruptors. Quick enough reaction, tossing out those Novas. Beyond retreats away. There is some Zealots going for some harassment. They're going to kill a sensor tower. They could potentially get some SCVs at this 3rd, but Beyond does react. It's buying a little bit of time. Now we have to see recall. However, where did those Stalkers go? Just to the natural, so that's not the quickest recall. These 3 gateways getting unpowered once again. Beyond loads up into the Medivacs. A blink after, not going to get anything done. Now, this does allow the game to calm down for a second, as Beyond is looking for another location to attack. He's moving towards the 5th base. He's also got this army to the south, so this is really scary for Zaun, because that means either his 4th or his 5th could be in trouble. However, he is closing on top of this part of the Terran army. Mass Disruptors getting tossed out, but they all get picked off. Beyond, a sniper kills them all. And that really allows him to take a great trade. There's not enough Zealots for Zaun, and there's that attack on the 4th base. Beyond set Zaun up and just knocked him down with that move. GG, the Terran player takes the 2-0 lead, pardon me. Well done indeed. And wow, that game was quite different from the last one. But it goes to show that playing late game like that as Protoss against Terrans these days is not an easy thing to do. Big thanks to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP Starcraft Global. Make sure to go ahead and click that follow button if you haven't already. I don't know if there's a follow emoji I can spam in chat. There is a bunch of emojis, but there's not follow ones. There's also not a Canadian flag. I may need to get on them about that one. I think I'm gonna have to complain about that, guys. Yeah, big thanks to everyone for tuning in today, though. We are in the next lobby. We're getting all the players in here. And keep in mind, this is just our first best of 5. Our next best of 5 is going to be what could be a GSL finals. It's going to be Dark taking on Hero, which is just incredible that we have that. And then the winner will face whoever wins this best of 5. Zaun isn't out of it just yet. He is a fighter. He's a darn good Protoss player. And maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to get the momentum back. But here we go, loading into the next match. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. Let me just take a quick look. Okie dokie. So we have got Zaun Pardon me, unfortunately for him, that is the wrong order of the score. The bottom left. The Protoss player is down 0-2. He is recently back to pro gaming, so he's looking very good, all things considered. But this man in the top right, Byun, is just a monster. Okay. Good to see everyone tuning on in today. I hope you guys are enjoying the game. Some late night Starcraft, I suppose for most of us, or very, very early morning Starcraft for the Europeans. Byun wore his Protoss killing shoes today. Yeah, he definitely is wearing his big boots that he uses to stomp on Protoss. Just a ginormous pair of stompers. Okay, now we've got a Cyber Core on the way up for Zaun. And a Zealot on the way for the Protoss player, so he's opening up very, very safe / aggressive, actually. Yeah, just blind Zealot to try and take the fight to Byun. I really like this, as Zaun has been on the back foot for the past 2 matches. If he can take the momentum, that is how he's going to win this series. And look at that, a total pivot from the Protoss player, going into a Stargate off of 1 base. Keep in mind, this isn't like, oh, I'm going to just open up with Stargate and defend. This is an incredibly aggressive opening from Zaun. Chrono boosting an Adept after the Zealot. He is trying to catch Byun out, and he might be able to do just that. There is only 1 Marine out for the Terran player. Byun will be making a 2nd and a 3rd Marine as soon as this reactor is done. But if Zaun can delay this command center a little bit, will Byun play Ring Around the Rosie with this SCV? No, he's going to lose it right out the gate, and Zaun knows that's really what he can ask for at this point. The Adept is going to be grouping up with this, and all of a sudden, Byun's going to be fighting an Adept with 3 Marines and a Zealot. Now, Zaun's got to take care of that Adept. He wants to buy time to delay this command center as long as he can, and he's not going to get that long delay if he does take this fight and lose it. The Adept may go into the main base. No, it's not. I really do like this playing for time, though. And Zaun knows the math on this. That's why he's being rather passive, using the Shade, preventing Byun from just being able to dive on top of this army. And all of a sudden, there's a Stalker to help out with this fight. Look at that. As Zaun, he's now targeting down some of the Marines. I mean, the Adept goes down, the Stalker. Can it fight these Marines? The answer is Oracle Bro is going to come on in to help out, so that allows Zaun to have control. However, the Widowmine is going to kill the Oracle, so that has lost momentum there big time by Zaun. He committed a lot to this as well. Keep in mind, that mine connecting really just saved the bacon of Byun. Now, that being said, the Terran player does still only have a few Marines, a Medivac, and a Widowmine. Now, I mean, Terrans have made more amazing things happen than that in the past. He's waiting for a Cyclone, though. That will really help him shut this aggression down. Byun is actually going to forfeit that supply depot. Another Oracle comes on in. It's looking for damage. However, it's just barely avoiding that Widowmine. Look at this micro from Zaun. I mean, he's playing with fire flying around this Widowmine. Byun does that supply depot drop. Would have been better if he used that on the burning depot. For those of you that don't know, that was one of the most random things they added in the latest patch of StarCraft 2, is that supply drops instantly heal depots and give them 100 HP. Now, Byun probably didn't have the supply drop in time for that, or he may just not think of that, as it is very new. Now, we do have a Phoenix out for Zaun to respond to this drop that's coming into his main base. He's got 2 Oracles. The Phoenix and the Stalker is going to collapse on top of this army. Oracles activate their Pulsar Beams. Stalker chasing after the Medivac. The Cyclone will be the first pick. Meanwhile, the Phoenix is going to try and secure the kill on that Medivac, as Byun doesn't unload it, but this will be forfeit. And that is actually quite nice for the Protoss player, if he can actually get this. Thankfully, one more of those Oracles, I believe it was Energy Overcharge, is able to have the energy to kill those Marines. Was that an energy overcharge used? Yes, it was. Zoun truly playing like it is all on the line. Yes, he definitely is. I really, really respect him here. The pivot to being aggressive was really nice for him. Now, is he in a good spot? I don't exactly know. And I think the answer is actually no, because it's 37 probes, 39 SCVs. Now, the build of Byun was definitely messed with. Like, Byun is in uncharted territory, which means his aggression or his counter-aggression might not flow as nicely. There's also the Phoenix flying around. Maybe it can get some work done with these oracles. That's a very random lift, and that's because Zoun is actually going to be moving on in, dropping a Stasis Ward. The Stasis Ward gets cancelled, though, as the Phoenix got targeted down, so the tank didn't get the lift off. One of the oracles died during that. Zoun really trying his luck to make something happen. Is he going to go into the main base? There is another siege tank there. Drops the Revelation, eats a tank shot, and yeah, that is quite concerning for the Protoss player, as he didn't really get much done there for even more commitment. Byun does have the third command center done. Now, that being said, Stimpack is just starting for the Terrans, so Zoun doesn't have to worry right away. And maybe he'll be able to set up some sort of timing where he can kind of intercept Byun, whether that be with the mass charge lots that he's going for, or just commit to a lot of Stalkers. A Viking finds a pylon that's building. Two Stalkers are going to try and fight the Viking. Now, Vikings are just, they deal so much damage. That's why Zoun, I think, hesitated for a second, but he does get on top of that Viking and kill it, which is quite nice. And then the Stalkers are out on the map. They can actually potentially deal some damage to this CC or pick off a few Marines. We'll see if Zoun micros this. This is a good opportunity for him, and that's exactly what he does. Doesn't get too much done, drops a Revelation. However, with Byun moving out to take a third base, this could leave him a little bit vulnerable to a bunch of Zealots being warped on in with Charge, as Charge is going to be done before Stimpack. Zoun does commit to a fourth base, though, so he's not exactly putting it all on the line. He's still playing around all the tanks that Byun has. And what a great match this is. 4 SCV caught in a Stasis Ward. Zoun, though, look at this. He is getting ready to go for the aggression. It's 11 Zealots. That's not that many Zealots, but against Bio that doesn't have Stimpack just yet, we'll see if he's going to hit this timing. Like, this is a 15-second timing window before Stim is done, and Byun does have a nice little Sim City starting to build. He's got the rocks, the depot closing the gap a bit. Combat Shield's done. +1 is done for the Protoss. It does seem that Zoun is just waiting. Maybe waiting for Byun to go for a move out, something like that. The Revelation is huge on this Oracle to keep tabs on the Terran army, because Zoun he really is waiting for this. Now, it's not an easy read. Maybe if he didn't go for the fourth, he could have just potentially won this game with a Zealot all in if he really committed to that. Now he's in a bit of a situation where he's got mass Zealots and he wants to make something happen, but I'm not sure this fight is going to go too well for him. However, as I say that, there's enough Stalkers to section off a chunk of that bio. There is still 2 tanks in the back line. Zoun blinks forward, targets down one of the tanks. The other is getting worked on. However, we do see that there's just not enough Zealots to break through this, so the attack has effectively failed. And what does that leave Zoun? That's why I thought the timing on that was a little bit odd, because it was no better than it was a minute ago. If not, arguably, it was worse. Now he can just really warp in more Stalkers and Zealots. That's literally all he's got. I think maybe he should try and throw up a Templar Archives, but if he does, that's kind of just playing from a very poor position, so he is going to try and take it. We'll see if the Protoss player can micro this and make a miracle happen. Snipes one Medivac, snipes a second. That's a really great start. Take out a Terran's Medivac, and they may eventually fall over time. So we'll see if Zoun can prolong this fight to get the value that he needs to whittle Byun down. 2 Zealots do move forward, getting some value, and Zoun isn't backing out. He's just moving in. Another Widow Mine does get picked off, actually. One of them does go off, though. Picks off a lot of those zealots. There should be more warping on in. Byun realizes how serious this situation is, even pulling a few SCVs. That's very important to realize that. Now there is Ghost, though, so they can drop some EMPs, really soften up these Stalkers. Fresh zealots do get warped on in. Zound moves forward, not quite one volleying down. Those Medivacs does hurt a little bit. Meanwhile, more Widow Mines are going off. However, SCVs are dying for the Terran, but Byun is really just playing for time. He's got 2-2 about 20 seconds away, and these fights are going to be so much better for the Terran player once that hits. So Zound, like, it's pretty much now or never for him. I feel Stalkers trying to absorb Widowmine shots. I mean, that 2-2 is about to finish up, and Zound just pulls on out. He got 13 SCVs, but I'm not sure that's enough. He's going to blink forward once again, get what he can. There's the 2-2 finishing up for Byun. His bio is now going to be supercharged and cut through these zealots. With EMP and 2-2, these zealots are just melting, and Byun is so darn good at kiting. I know I keep talking about that, but it's an easy thing to mess up as the Terran if you mess up your timings. And look at this, Zound's army is just melting. He got 3 SCVs. There is a prism inside the main base. But look at this, the reinforcements of Byun are cleaning this up thanks to the upgrades. It's definitely helping out. Now Zound is at least buying time with these zealots inside the main base, getting a few more SCVs, but the prism dies. That means there's no more backstab potential during this. Stalkers are moving towards the natural. He's really trying to get anything he can, grabs a few SCVs and recalls. Great timing there to realize he can pull that move off. Meanwhile, one zealot does cause a bit more chaos. Byun is down to 56 SCVs, but what does the Protoss have? The answer is basically nothing. 5 Stalkers, 9 zealots, and Byun is going to be on the warpath soon enough, I feel. I mean, I know I said it would be nice if Zound threw down a Templar Archives, but that never happened because he was barely mining any gas. In fact, he still has literally just 2 gases in this game. And now he's got to play against 2-2 bio with 1-1 gateway units. There's a single disruptor on the way. Zound's looking for a nice surround. He's really just got to play for time. He does have an Immortal and a Sentry. That can potentially help him out. Over EMP just butchers gateway Protoss armies. Now, maybe there can be a miracle disruptor hit, but look at this. Byun's got 3-3 on the way. And Zound is just not really teching at all. 1 disruptor. I mean, it's not early Legacy of the Void where Terrans didn't know how to play against disruptors. Byun has been practicing against these things for almost 10 years, if not, yeah, almost 10 years. And so he knows how to micro against these pretty darn well. Zound has mustered up quite a bit of bio, but look at that. Byun just retreating once again. He knows how to take these fights, and the Terran is kiting back and back, and look at that. The Zealot numbers thin out. The Disruptor is chilling in the back. There's a Colossus on the way, which will help reduce the kiting factor of Byun. Zound does have a 5th base. He's buying a little bit of time with some zealots running around the map. However, for the past minute, it really has just been the Protoss player losing stuff. And it's not getting better. Look at the supply right now, 164 to 133. I mean, some DTs or something would be nice, but he doesn't have time to build those. And now look at that, Byun on the left side, realizing that Zound's got that 5th, so he's immediately splitting up his army, gonna say, hey, you can maybe defend 1 location, but can you defend 2 when I'm also dropping your main base? Zealots are already warping on in there. Zound is actually gonna go for a counterattack. This is such a ballsy move. Zealots are getting on top of some of this bio. The Colossus is out of position, so Marauders are going to try and close on that. The drop is inside the main base, cleaning up a bunch of this. Zound basically needs to win the game, but Byun's reinforcements are doing a good job for themselves. They don't have 3-3 upgrades just yet. Just there's not enough for the Protoss. He gave up trying to defend the main base, and so he basically has nothing. He's running probes towards the 6th base. However, all his gateways are going to be unpowered, and that is going to be Zound running out of steam. GG. Byun takes the 3-0 just like that. What a killer. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that was our first best of 5. It did finish up rather quickly. So we are going to be having our second best of 5. It's going to be Dark taking on Hero. Just going to track those guys down, make sure they're ready for their match. And then we'll take a quick little break while you're waiting for what is probably the match that a lot of people are excited for. Go ahead and hit up that Matcherino. Use the coupon code. Click the like button on the stream and also leave a follow. Click that follow button. It's good to see there's lots of you guys talking in chat, so you got accounts. Just give it a little click, and then I will see you guys in a couple minutes here. Okay, guys. We're just about there. The players are just doing their vetoes. Just waiting on Dark's veto. The man does have himself a new baby, so I don't blame Dark for being a little bit late or having some chaos going on. And we've got our first map. It's going to be King's Cove. I gotta make sure that this is the right map. And oh, look at this. We had a $20 contribution to the Matcherino by Phoenix of War, an amazing regular supporter of these events. Yeah, big thanks as always, Phoenix. The players appreciate it, and it definitely helps us get guys like Dark, Hero, Beyond, Joan back for these matches. And we're just inviting them all to the game. It's getting there. You gotta be patient. I always consider it a good time when the players at least show up. If they're a little bit late, it's not the end of the world. That way we're not scrambling to find another player or anything. I have had an energy drink to wake myself up this morning. I say morning because I'm on a night shift schedule currently, so I actually did not get that much sleep. So if I seem like I'm over caffeinated and slightly tired, that may be why. I can always sub in if you need an extra player. If we want to see someone go for nukes, we'll tag you into Phoenix. I'm sure Hero would love to be ghost rushed. I assume you're a Terran player by how much you love nukes. Oh, a teddy bear gifted 100 gems. That is very cool to see. Thank you so much, teddy bear. That's very, very kind of you. And it means a lot. That is part of the reason why SOOP sponsors these events. They want to build a community, get people making accounts and watching streams on here. So supporting like that is incredibly appreciated. Not just for the gems themselves, but for engaging on the site. Thank you. Oh shoot, will there be a VOD available? Yeah, there should be a VOD immediately available on this channel. Then there will be... Yeah, there'll be a VOD immediately available on this channel. And then there will be it on YouTube several weeks later. We're just waiting on Dark. He says 1 minute. He did seem distracted with the time he's taking for the vetoes and stuff. Like, he could literally be looking after a baby right now, guys. And as someone without a baby, I cannot imagine the chaos of trying to be a StarCraft 2 player. Both players are ready. You know what that means, guys? We're loading on into the game. Falcon Paladin should be joining us soon enough. But here we go. Dark Hero. Gonna be playing some darn good StarCraft 2. And oh my gosh, Teddy Bear just dropped in a ton of subscriptions, which is very darn cool. Wow, thank you so much, Teddy Bear. And I do actually have a YouTube. Yeah, there. I'll just link that in the chat. I'm glad to see you guys are all getting as excited as me for these events. Big thanks to everyone for tuning on in. We have got Hero in the upper left-hand side of the map from Weeboo Gaming. And in the bottom right, I want to say it's Gosu Crew Dark. I'm pretty sure that's Gosu Crew. Pulling that up. Okay, no. He probably just hasn't updated his clan tag because it says he last played for Talon Esports, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, the game is starting. I'm just going to send a quick message to the players. Okay, we have got Hero being a nuisance with his probe as always. If you want to be a pro gamer, this is what you gotta do, guys. Click all over your opponent's minerals to mess with the mining. It's little advantages that compound massively in Starcraft 2. That's why we see Hero making the rounds, making Dark warm up his fingers. He could actually be doing Dark a favor by making Dark do this. If Dark just like woke up or whatever. Because, yeah, he'll be like, oh, okay, right. StarCraft 2, I forgot how competitive and sweaty this game can get. We've got a probe still moving around, being a nuisance. It's a very interesting dynamic. Maybe that's not talked about enough. The fact that probes have 3.94 move speed and Zerglings have 4.13. That basically means that they can just slowly catch a probe but not easily kill it if it's microed correctly. Now let's take a look here. This Adept for Hero is shading around. Dark almost killed off those rocks, but not quite. Oracle is on the way for Hero. Does seem like we're getting a little bit of stuttering in the game. Let me just go ahead and pull up PC performance. Doesn't seem like anything's over the top. We are doing a dual stream here today, but I feel like this is just generic StarCraft 2 lag or something like that. Oracle for Hero, supercharged with energy, but not gonna find much thanks to great queen positioning by Dark. It does bounce towards the third, where maybe it can get a drone that's about to pop out. We'll see if Dark cancels that, or turns it into a spore. Looks like it is. He actually lets it finish, and Hero doesn't retarget it. So maybe a bit of a missed opportunity there by the Protoss player. And Dark actually sneaks that drone out, keeping it alive. Bit of micro going on down at the third, and we get a very early Baneling Nest from Dark. Gonna be walling off the top of King's Cove, preventing Adepts or anything getting into his natural. That's actually very powerful from the Zerg. Zerg walls are not something that they can easily do on a lot of maps, or bother with anyway. Hero does have +1 blink. coming on out, and he really is the master when it comes to this style. There's no one that does +1 blink attacks better. Fourth base is going up for Dark. Now, the funny thing about Dark committing to this wall is that it could potentially lead to Hero just having one lane to push, and that being Dark's 3rd/4th, so maybe we'll see that. The +1 melee is definitely always fun to watch, though, from the Zerg player. We'll see if Dark is able to get anything done with it. There is just the one Oracle out for Hero, with another being produced, so I really do like the fact that he's going for a second Oracle, maybe upon seeing the sheer count of Lings. However, he may need a second one if he loses this one. Oh man, Hero is just... he's so bold with these Oracles. Dark Slings are moving out on the map. They push on up towards that 3rd, but Hero's got himself a nice wall going up. I really like the gateways helping to reduce run-bys on the 3rd. And while Dark's Ling style can be very strong, the +1's going to be very strong once it finishes, which will be quite a while, the concern is the Oracles. That's why this gateway Oracle style works so well, is because you can, as soon as you're off creep, basically, where the queens can't chase, you're safe as the Protoss player. So Hero, look at that, he's already setting up stasis wards in the back. Warping in some zealots too, he's got to be very careful, but look at this, Dark trying to bait out the stasis, gets one of them, and then Hero just blinks away. And even if Dark committed, I'm sure those Oracles would pop their pulsar beams, which does make this a little bit frustrating for Dark, which is why he's probably committing to the Hydras sooner rather than later, as they can trade out at range. Spores are now on the way for Dark as well. Groove Spines, yeah, he did invest in that Hydra Den, but he has yet to make any Hydras. Hero is building a 4th base. Banelings are moving on in. Slow Banelings actually going to get some okay connections. This is a very bold move by Dark. I'm not sure it had the desired effect. Like, I mean, 5 Zealots, 3 Stalkers dead for 52 Lings, and however many Banelings that was, like 5, 6 Banelings. Yeah, I'm not sure that that was worth it for the Zerg player. Hydras are popping out for Dark, so that's really going to help his army out. As long as he's got enough Lings to buffer for that army and prevent Hero just pushing on in. The Protoss player is not messing around, though, as we are seeing that 4th base get on up. And then Psystorm just about to finish up, which is incredible, of course, against Lings and Hydras. Dark's attempting to get a run by. More and more Lings are being produced. Baneling speed, Dropper Lords on the way. Look at that, 4 Banelings and a Dropper Lord. I wonder what he's going to do with those, as that is just a recipe for killing probes. We then have Hero going for double Robo mass cannons in all of his bases, so Hero is actually not planning on killing Dark anytime soon, it seems. The way he's positioning, the way he's investing in tech and building all these cannons, like, that is not a Protoss player who's saying, right, I'm going to win off of 4 bases and just push. No, he's investing in double Immortals, anticipating a Lurker transition. The Oracles are still flying around. They do have to be careful. Revelation, well placed. Keeping tabs on that Zerg force. That's why the cannons and the battery on the high ground are so nice. Oracles are still flying around looking for tech. A large group of Zealots could be in trouble. I don't think there's going to be a recall or anything to save them. At best, take out a few Lings and just hope. Hero's High Templar count is decent. He's warping in a couple more. And look at all these cannons that he's building. He really knows he's playing against Dark. 5 probes go down to a Baneling drop. It could have been much worse. Yeah, all those cannons is crazy, though. Look at this, 7 cannons. Hero is like, he's playing like tower defense right now or something like that. He's like, no, I know Dark. I know how much static defense he built, or harassment he goes for. The problem is, Dark isn't harassing right now. He is just going for the throat. Banelings crash through that pylon wall. The Lurkers are set up. One Psystorm gets a decent connection. Oracle flies by and dies over those Hydras. A few Psystorms did connect, but now Lings are getting inside the natural. They are getting inside the main base. Those cannons are actually going to help out tremendously, though. So while Dark cracked open the door, he can't push in easily. Psystorm catches some of the Hydras. That's quite nice. Hero's going to want to break this army as soon as he can before it gets reinforcements. So great call there, and Dark maybe overcommitting a little bit. And wow, that really is incredible. Banelings are crashing on in, but the cannons, the amount of static defense, it's just Hero adjusting to the way Dark plays this game and reading it incredibly well. You may say 16 cannons is silly. Hero says 16 cannons are necessary. That is just so darn cool to see. Dark is going for a Ling counterattack, realizing he maybe doesn't have the army he needs to deal with this. And once again, that means the cannons of Hero are going to be worth their weight in gold. Stasis Ward catches a lot of this. Zealots are warping on in. That is just almost a checkmate on Dark. If you can't counterattack his Berserk, what does that leave you? The answer is trying to defend against the massive Protoss army with a few Queens and Lurkers. Just not enough. Lings do come from behind trying to get a surround, but Immortals aren't good versus Lings. However, when you have that many, They can get the job done. Well done by... Really, really well done by Hero. Game number 1. Okay, both players are ready. We're having that beep, 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 which is happy noises for those of us that watch Starcraft 2. As, yeah, these pro matches, Hero and Dark, you really can't ask for better when it comes to Korean matches. At least, like, we really have to appreciate Hero and Dark because they play in these matches. They play in these matches and like all the time. Like they play in cups all the time. And it really is impressive that they can win top tier tournaments and they don't have to hide themselves like guys like Maru do, like Serral does. It really is a sign of their class and just probably love of the game in general. Now, in the bottom right, he played incredibly well in the last match. It's Hero. And in the upper left, it is Dark. We do have a matcherino for this event, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and hit up that matcherino. You can add 25 cents to the prize pool just by clicking that contribute button. And that helps out the players tremendously. It's a very good habit to make if you enjoy watching StarCraft 2, because a lot of StarCraft 2 events use Matcherino. Heroes probe scouting. It's going around, going around, going around. Syntax says, I'm trying to figure out what date the map of Europe behind you was made. Would you like me to tell you, or do you want to keep on guessing? It was actually a present I got for Christmas from my brother. It's actually not. I don't believe it's a 100% accurate map. I think it's like a modern overlay of the Roman provinces of Europe, basically. So it's a modern map that's been labeled with all the Roman territories. Because I don't believe it's like an accurate Roman map, because I think the Romans didn't have as good of cartography. Or I don't even know if we have historical Roman maps, really, that are detailed. I don't know. But it's cool nonetheless. Just that one overlord has perished so far. Hero goes for the pocket nexus. You can't blame him against a guy that goes for so many run-bys. The cannons are so impressive by Hero. He spent almost 3,000 resources on cannons. That is just ridiculous. But it worked. There wasn't a lot of batteries in there. Pretty much just cannons saying, hey. Because, yeah, it just helped him out so darn much. Now, I don't know if you can play against that as the Zerg by, saying, hey, this Protoss player, he's been building a lot of cannons lately in his main and his natural and his third, and then just go for, like, a power push, trying to get the tosses fourth or something. But Neon Violet Square is Dark's map pick, which does mean he should be more confident on it. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, go ahead, click that follow button, give it a slap, as that's a good thing to do. Give it a slap and leave a like on this stream. If you're just tuning in and you're being a lurker, don't lurk. It takes like 2 seconds to make an account on SOOP, and we do these events every 2 weeks. It definitely helps out. Trying to get the word for the platform more out there. So +1 is just about halfway done for Hero. Blink's on the way as well. And there's a 4th Nexus on the way. Sir Found says, I just made an account. That is fantastic to see. You found your account. Yeah, it is a very, very quick account creating process. Now Dark, thinking he can maybe get some damage done, and he may be right. Force fields get dropped by Hero, and what do we have there? 13 lings for a Stalker and a Sentry? I don't know. We'll see if it opens up more damage or anything. Yeah, Hero being able to jump those lurkers, definitely a good point. Like, Dark, even if he had committed to that harassment and lost all those lings, if he had, say, pulled back with the lurkers, he would have had like 6 more lurkers on that counterattack that Hero eventually went for, which could have kept him alive, maybe. It really was just like 40 chests from Hero. He's like, I know Dark's gonna commit with these lurkers and leave them unprotected. And he did exactly that. Dark expanding outwards, keeping that back expansion for later, just now. He wants the gold base, which I definitely don't blame him for. And the level of macro in this game really is impressive. Like, guys, there's been 1 Stalker and 1 Sentry dead, 16 Lings and an Overlord. And both players are on 70 or 80 workers. That is ridiculous. Dark long distance mining from the gold. Good to see he's going to have that saturated as soon as it's done. That's really going to give him a nice income boost. It's not as easy for Protoss to secure that base. As we see Hero building a great wall, getting more cannons up already. Start the cannon counter, guys. Ravagers are on the way for Dark. I'm a big fan of that, as they are incredible for zoning out Protoss forces. He's also opening up his rocks. There's the High Templar on the way for Hero. Well, the Templar Archives, anyway. Curious if we'll see Dark take another base at some point soon. There it is. I love to see it. If you got the money, always expand. Hero is being incredibly passive this match. Just macroing up, and Dark is saying, yeah, let's see if that works out. And it very well may, as Dark, he's setting up to try and break this with 35 Banelings. He doesn't have +1 on them just yet. There's multiple sentries out. Well, pardon me, just one sentry out for Hero. It's got lots of energy. A couple of High Templar warped in. A big wall for the Protoss player. The Colossus are stationed like turrets in the back line, however. Dark is getting on top of this. Ravagers can break the Corrosive Vials. The Banelings are rolling forward. And Hero is trying to make a defense happen. I'm not sure how well it's going to go, though. Those Archons and Immortals do stay alive quite a while. Most of the Lings have gone down, however, so have 15 probes. And there is a Ling flood behind this. That being said, the Roaches and Ravagers don't have the muscle they need to sustain this attack. And so Dark walks away with 20 workers, knocking Hero down to 57, which is no small amount. And fires up 16 more Roaches as Hero builds 2 more Colossus. He lost 1 gateway in that wall. He doesn't have any more High Templar or any sentries either, so the spellcasters are lacking a little bit. Hero is at 123 supply against 199 of the Zerg. I think Hero almost needs to rebuild that gateway and get his wall going. He does use energy overcharge on a High Templar, so he may have a Psystorm. However, there is a lot of Zerg getting ready for round 2, and this is round 2. It might have +2 attack, however, Dark may hit before that's actually done. I don't think he cares, although he does pull back for a second. He's getting ready for it. In go the Lings, Banelings rolling forward. Psystorm hits some of them. He's actually just trying to go for probes, but then changes his mind, goes for the Stalkers, and when you're Protoss and you're buffering with Stalkers, that is not good for you. However, those Colossus, they melt the Lings. All the Lings are dead just like that. I mean, a gateway dies, but all the Colossus stay alive for the Protoss. Corrosive Bile kills the Observer. A lot of those Roaches and Banelings got caught in a nice stasis ward as well. All the Stalkers buffering pretty much died there. Looks like Hero's actually going to elect to pull away from this base. The Banelings don't get the probes, which is what Dark wanted. What made that last attack okay was that he got probes and traded out with the army. This time he didn't get that. He just traded out with his army, so that's a successful hold for Hero. And now Dark is going to be under pressure, because if, say, Hero holds off this attack as well as he did once more, he's going to be in a really good spot. There's more High Templar there. I'm not sure there's... Okay, there's 22 Banelings going to be moving forward. Lings are charging forward, baiting out one of those Psystorms. More Psystorms going down, but 4 Colossus deal so much damage. Banelings are rolling forward onto some of the Colossus. Big connections on the probes. That is 18 dead probes for Hero. And now Dark is on the retreat once again. Getting those probes is the bare minimum for Dark. He also bruised up that Nexus quite a bit, killed off a few more of the gateways. The Protoss player, though, still has 4 Colossus alive. He's built another battery. He should have another energy overcharge at some point so he can get more Psystorm. There's also quite an Immortal background building up for him. The concern for Hero, though, is that he is locked on 4 bases. Even if he can hold off the next attack or two, which isn't necessarily going to be easy, he simply is going to eventually dry out on bases. So as long as Dark can keep the pressure up, he even comes on in, sees there's no 5th base, and has got to be thinking, well, I'm doing all right then. I would love to see Hero invest in a couple more gateways to rebuild that wall, something like that. But he's simply so broke. doesn't have that much supply. He invested in a fleet beacon, maybe trying to get out a mothership or something like that. But Dark, he's had free reign of this map. Like, he's got many, many more bases to take. There's no sign of a counterattack. Hero's trying to get out a mothership. He can Chrono Boost that. However, it's going to be at least a minute with Chrono Boost for that to pop out. And that is a long, long time in a situation like this. There's 20 Banelings out for Dark, 27 Roaches. The Colossus are still doing work, and there's 6 Immortals out. 3 High Templar with boatloads of energy, 4 Archons. More High Templar warping on in. Dark is really respecting Hero right now. He's giving him time and just saying, hey, fine, hang out on 5 bases. I'll get out a Spire. I'll get out my 3/3 and Adrenal Glands, which it's an incredible amount of passiveness from Dark. Like, a lot of Zergs would have just said, I gotta go again. I gotta go again. It's like they start attacking and that's all they know. Colossus on the high ground helping zone out some of these Roaches. Hero's climbing in supply. He's at 120 supply, 120 army supply against 120. And he's also got 15 more free supply, so he will have a bigger army than Dark. He's just playing it so safe. And Hero, he's actually moving out on the map, which seems very, very risky because he does not have the money to remax after a fight. If he gives Dark a good fight, and oh man, here it is. I feel like Hero played this so well with how passive he was, but now he's got to try and defend the space. The Mothership comes on in. Dark is finding a nice split on Hero's army. Psystorm hits a lot of those Roaches, though. Roaches are pretty bad against Colossus, Immortals, and Archons, but there goes the 4th base. And Hero moving out gave this opportunity for Dark. Dark commits with a lot of the Roaches, though, but simply loses them as there is still those 6 Immortals, and the Protoss player is seemingly just going for an all-in to try and kill Dark. The pressure is on. It's 80 supply for Dark versus 116 for Hero. Hero has done the math. He has said, this is how I'm going to win this game from this position. He wipes out a base. Dark has got 3,000 minerals in the bank. I think Hero just needs to keep going for it. He's taken his sweet, sweet time, though, and Dark doesn't have that much. He's making 8 Broodlords. He's got 7 more Corruptors on the way. He's committing a lot to a counterattack. Hero does have Archons, a cannon, holding that high ground, though, and that is going to free him up to push on in. Where are the Broodlords? Well, there's just 1 right there. 7 more are waiting to build. They take so darn long to build, it seems. Another base does get deleted. Hero needs to take this pretty much as far as he can, though, because there's no 4th base anymore behind this. Corruptors come on in, they kill off a Colossus, the Mothership gets taken out. I feel like Hero may have dilly-dallied a little bit too much. Psystorm are hitting the Corruptors. Stalkers are going to blink under the Broodlords. They kill off 3. Going to be almost a 4th. There's the 4th. Transfuses, saving the lives of the Queens. Army supply is neck and neck. More Broodlords are morphing. Dark has got bases to play with. A little bit more land to burn. And I think Hero might not have the anti-air he needs for the Broodlords. He gets another one. However, the Stalker count is thinning out. There's Archons and Immortals on the ground. More Stalkers did come forward. They picked off another Broodlord. However, more Broods are about to pop out. Drones are even being told to secure the kill on some of those Stalkers. The Immortals and Stalkers and Archons, they're all grouped up, but I'm not sure there's enough to deal with these Broodlords, so Hero just needs to get enough damage done that he can maybe force this game into some sort of weird stalemate. Dark is closing in on this force. Supply is still in the lead for Hero. The Immortals are moving towards the main base. They're just looking for any kills they can get. Dark has got 2 bases down south. Hero doesn't really know how active they are or not. Stalkers blinking under the Broodlords. Once again, Hero's able to take it. Oh my gosh. Somehow he was able to kill all those Broodlords and win the game. That was ridiculous. Holy cow. What a match between these two. Just the level of play from Hero to survive on 4 bases and be able to kill Dark. Dark's got to be kicking himself a little bit for that one. Okay, and now all of a sudden it's match point for Hero. Hero won the previous one of these events. Both players are ready, so we're going to load on into the next match. Here we are. Let me make sure to change that scene so you're not looking at me. This is the man to watch, though, in the bottom left. He's looking next level. It's Hero. And in the upper right, it's Dark. Maybe not as well-rounded. You'll have to forgive me for a second as I just, trying to get the chat taken care of on this other... We're multi-streaming right now as a way to try and cross-promote. But, I'm having a hard time making it happen. Hero's being a nuisance with his probe, as always. Okay, I'll try and figure that out later. For now, we've got Dark having an expansion at his third. Adept shooting away. And Metabolic Boost about to finish up for Dark. Just a lot of light harassment and stuff. starting this off. Bit of mind games. We'll see if Dark is able to pull this back somehow. Oracle comes on in. Although Hero doesn't control it for a second, will lose it. Stasis Ward attempt. Dark knows to right-click down on those to get rid of them. Oracle still trying to make something happen, but incredible micro means that there is only one drone kill. So Dark isn't exactly slouching today. He's just lost 2 matches. Oracles come on in. They are going to fly over a Spore. They do manage to nab 2 drones. Hero is maintaining that pressure, backed by the Oracles. Zerg really can't move out against Oracles unless they're going for like a timing with Queens or they've got Hydras. Fourth base going up for Dark. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same for Hero relatively soon. However, he does have that Blinken +1, so maybe he's planning on getting aggressive. Although as far as aggression goes, with those gateway units, he really hasn't done it. He's just been playing it. He's been harassing and keeping a little bit of pressure on Dark, but he's mainly been responding to what Dark goes for. Okay, there is 10 roaches being produced by Dark. Baneling Nest about to, well, starting the research of centrifugal hooks, and the 4th is gonna complete for Dark. He's been facing that light pressure from Hero. Hero really is abusing these rocks, so I'm kind of curious that Dark hasn't broken these. Stasis Ward does catch some of the Lings. I'm curious if Dark will try and break down those rocks or not. He is just setting up the concave. Can't move out though due to the presence of those oracles. Dark is adding in a few Ravagers, which help with the trades for the Zerg. You can drop Corrosive Bowels, force the Protoss to reposition. Look at that, Hero is able to pick off the odd unit, definitely getting his share of Lings killed. Dark's moving forward into Stasis Wards. He's had enough and is just trying to push out against us, but there's a massive blink by Hero, and Dark all of a sudden is in trouble. Lings come forward to help. There's transfuses dropping, but Hero is now getting aggressive. I was saying, he hasn't really got aggressive with the Stalkers too much this game, but now we're seeing it. Dark is committing so far off creep to try and repel this attack. He's dealing with the Adepts in his natural. He's got to pull back. There's still plenty of Queens left up for Dark. The transfuses can really help out a lot with soaking this damage. The Adepts are getting cleaned up after losing 4 drones, but 4 drones is within the realm of acceptability. The Lings are also going to have +2 attack eventually. They have +1 right now. Ravagers and Roaches are collapsing on top of the army of Hero, taking the momentum away from the Protoss. It's not like Hero had a prism with this. He's just been warping those units in and walking them across the map, slowing down reinforcements, and Dark has made an incredible amount of Roaches despite losing 10 drones in the past moment or so. Those Roaches are really gonna just help him have a supply lead. Like 27 Roaches is no small amount. And I really do like the way that Dark is getting aggressive against this composition. It's an incredibly fine line to walk as the Zerg player. Do I just try and buy time against this Protoss force so I can fight it later? But that's how Protoss gets a lot of their wins, by whittling the Zerg down. Dark is bringing the fight to hero almost with how far he's committing off creep, morphing those injured roaches into Ravagers. He's now making many, many more Lings that are going to help buffer against the Stalkers. The Lings do very well against the Stalkers because the Stalkers have that really slow rate of fire, which means any shot wasted on a Ling is basically a Roach's life save. And good efficiency for the Zerg. We're now seeing Dark commit off of creep. There's no stasis wards to intercept this. Hero blinking out of Corrosive Bile. Dark is at least getting something when he steps forward, getting the odd Stalker here and there. It's presently 22 dead Stalkers to 20 Roaches. Countless Lings have died in the face of this. We're seeing Heroes stand and fight this, but there is enough Lings to help push this back. Dark is so bold with how far off creep he's going. He's like, okay, turn on those Oracle Pulsar Beams. You don't have that much stuff. Hero blinks on top of this. Lings are coming on in en masse to help out with this. That is most of the Roaches being traded out right now. The Ling count is thinning out. Dark has more reinforcements coming on out. He does have to pull back. What's the unit count right now? 19 Stalkers to 11 Roaches, 22 Lings. Dark's having a bit of a tough time right now. He's still got 4 Queens out. It's such a fine line these players are walking right now. The Protoss player has got up to 4 bases during all this chaos, though, and he's still pushing Dark, who hasn't been able to squeeze out that many drones. 12 Banelings are morphing, but Blink Stalkers are pretty darn good at avoiding those transfuses on the hatchery. That is a massive economic blow to Dark. Dark was able to get up another base during this. Pardon me for my mistake. I was treating that like, well, I guess that was his 4th base, but Dark did get up another one, thankfully for him, so he can actually afford to take that loss. I'm not sure for how long, though. The Banelings are going to have to get an amazing engagement for Dark to just crush this Protoss force. Dark is moving off of creep once again, realizing he may need to take the fight to the Protoss to prevent Hero just from microing back endlessly and getting those good pickoffs. A blink forward. Dark says it's now or never. The Banelings are rolling forward. They do have +2, so they're dealing lots of damage to these Stalkers, but Hero, he just blinks forward to avoid them. Still, though, there's quite a few big connections in there, and Dark is pushing across the map. Somehow he's been holding on against this Protoss onslaught. He grabs an Immortal, and he pulls back. The Zerg player staying alive on 4 bases for now, able to keep his production up, his supply up enough to avoid that tipping point that kills so many Zergs. Now, Dark has been taking some R8 trades during this. It's 15,000 resources lost for Dark to 14.3 for Hero, basically. So that is actually quite a decent trade for the Zerg. That being said, Hero does have a 5th base up. Dark is now taking a 5th and a 6th, thinking he's maybe held on long enough against this. And Hero seems to agree as he transitions. He's got a Robo Bay on the way, +1 armor on the way. Roaches for Dark are still trying to make this hold happen. And right now, Dark is just doing his thing. He's pushing off of creep once again. He seems to have rewritten the rules on dealing with this. Like, in the past, we've seen so many Zergs just trying to huddle around their base, and then they get whittled down. Dark, by moving forward, he's preventing Hero from getting that efficiency that Protoss loves with the Blink Stalkers, the push in and retreat. He's negating that factor. He's defending his 5th base attempt, as Hero was able to cancel that new 6th base. Dark is at 140 supply against the 154 of Hero, so supplies still aren't amazing for the Zerg, but Dark actually just taps out. Okay. I guess he had enough of that, realizing that maybe he was at that tipping point. Huh. That, yeah, I guess maybe with losing that base, pardon me. Dark said that was that. But have been so close to being dead for so long and then say, okay, now I'm actually dead upon seeing the Immortals. I don't know, like, it seems like he fought out those fought out those 13 minutes quite a lot. I don't know. I don't blame him for GGing out too much. He was down in the series. But then, like, to fight it out for so long just to give up in that particular position, I'd like to see him play it out for another minute or so. He's Dark. He's the king of comebacks. Maybe he could have done it. But apparently Dark doesn't think so. Okay, so GG. That is going to set us up for our grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a best of 7. We're going to have Falcon Paladin joining us for the finals. So we'll be back after just a couple of minutes here as we take a short break, do the vetoes and whatnot. It'll be a best of 7. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and look who's joining us! It's
Hey,
Paladin.
it's Falcon Paladin! Hooray, it's me! I'm back! Right in time for the final. Sorry I'm so late, everyone. Some family stuff came up, but we are ready for the final.
That is A-okay. If you're gonna time it so you get back for the finals.
Yeah, the most important aspect of the day. That is certainly the case.
Yeah, so we got that beep beep beep, which means we're loading into match number 1, Byun versus Hero. Hero is looking like a killer. However, Byun has already killed a Protoss today. So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely feels like Hero, if he does 3-0 Dark, he is just on a heater right now. So, I mean, can't argue too much with picking him, but, you know, we're not here just to see how the odds are. We're here to see who actually wins. So we've got a best of 7 here, starting in Whispers of Gold. And in the top left of Whispers of Gold, we have our blue Protoss player. It's Byun. I called him Protoss. He's Terran. Look at that.
Byun isn't one of those European fools that seem to insist on playing Protoss at the minute.
No.
It is Hero in the bottom right. I say fools lightheartedly, but it is.
Yeah.
I did just watch the VOD of Masters Coliseum, in which Raynor played Protoss against Serral, and just lost quite horribly, I believe.
Yeah, makes sense. Kind of watching Clem play Protoss against Gumiho and losing horribly.
I mean, he had a close series, I think, but...
In Home Story Cup?
Yeah, wasn't it 3-2?
I can't remember. I just remember he had 2 games as Protoss where he looked kind of lost about what to do in a PvT. And every Protoss player watching it is like, hey, now you know how it feels.
Yeah, I mean, it's so common for off-racing Protoss players that play Protoss just to be like, yeah, Zealots and Stalkers are good. And then eventually people are like, I'm gonna play it safe. And then they're like, oh crap, I don't know how to macro. So that's how that usually goes.
Right. So yeah, good times. Good times for sure as Protoss these days. Huh. So yeah, the U.S. government banned TikTok. Went into effect a couple of hours ago, and they actually blocked the website instead of just blocking you from downloading it from the app sites. Interesting. I didn't think they would do that.
Did the U.S. government actually block TikTok, or was it TikTok blocking TikTok? Because I believe TikTok said they were going to disable all traffic from the U.S. if it got deleted off the App Store.
Oh, okay. So it's a combination of the Chinese government and the U.S. government working together to make sure Americans can't use it. Fair enough. That makes sense. Yeah, because the U.S. government basically said, we need you to sell TikTok's U.S. interests to an American owner. And if that doesn't happen, then we're preventing it from being downloaded on the app stores. And so I guess then in response, they were like, well, fine. You can't download the app and you can't use the website either. Screw you guys. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, this Adept just trying to do stuff.
That is big news. A lot of people probably just had their careers destroyed, all those influencers.
No kidding. Tons of influencers. What's really funny is there's this other app called Red Note that is effectively like TikTok for native Chinese people. And for some reason that came up as an alternative. So like apparently millions of Americans have signed up for Red Note, which is Chinese owned. Like it's a more Chinese owned than TikTok is. As these Reapers actually kill a Stalker. Amazing. There's a lot of Reapers in fairness. And then they get chased away by an Oracle. Fair enough. Circle of life stuff here. Yeah, but yeah, so it's like we're really worried about the influence of TikTok in America and the spying on us and stuff. Hey, you can use Red Note though. Totally fine, guys. Go ahead and sign up for that. It's like, oh my gosh, American government is too slow and ponderous to actually do anything that actually works here.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
The only thing that I hope that comes out of it is that people realize how awful social media is for your mental well-being in general.
It's worth a shot.
Like, hopefully it starts a bigger conversation on that. When people are like, oh no, I don't have TikTok and my life's horrible now. It's like, well, maybe it's actually going to be better.
Yeah, I mean, yes, obviously, but the problem is that the concept of short-form videos have taken over. We got Facebook has short-form videos, Instagram
true.
obviously has it. If you want to brain rot yourself, you don't need TikTok for that, I promise you that much.
Oh, it's true, but maybe it'll start that conversation a little bit more.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Anyway, double Oracle. We got multiple Oracles here. We've got multiple Reapers being thrown around the opening of this PvT. Kind of an interesting opening so far. I like it. Blink's getting researched by Hero. No real surprise there. We're going to get Blink in a PvT. Never, ever, ever, ever going to skip that upgrade. Makes no sense to at all. Blink's just too good. So Oracle's searching around, looking for maybe Reaper scouting about, maybe proxies they can burn down. That'd be nice. Beyond just getting an engineering day for turrets and for a good +1 attack for the Marines and the Marauders, and probably some of the ghosts he'll be making later on too.
Yeah. Looking at that, I love it when guys like Bjorn do open up with the multiple Reapers and Hellions, even though it had limited success in this match.
Sure.
As
sure.
It can catch players off guard big time. Is Bjorn going to be able to survive the Hero Blink Stalkers, though?
That's the question. I mean, Blink Stalker openings have been popular for years and years and years now. Obviously, there's the time when Parting was known for his insanely unstoppable Blink openings against Terran, but, you know, those days have changed. Obviously, not as unstoppable anymore, because if it was, we'd have more Protoss wins in Premier tournaments, etc., but pretty good anyway. Blink attacks, getting in there on top of a bunker, sniping down a siege tank, really putting pressure on the Terran in the early game is pretty fantastic. So Blink's into the main base. Oracle's providing that high ground vision and actually get a few attacks on that reactor. Like, I guess we'll take that.
Yeah,
sure.
No
we'll take a reactor.
No SCVs being pulled to try and save that really, really hurts. For
yeah, completely. It cuts medevac production in half. He might actually deny the combat shield upgrade. Just oh, hang on. Poked up a little bit. Now siege tank's in range. And he's going to leave that alone for now.
Yeah, reactors take 1 billion years to build.
And they don't take that long to kill either. So yeah, it's a nice little target if you're inside a Terran base and looking for stuff to kill. Reactors are not a bad thing to look at.
He builds a 3rd CC, but that's vulnerable. Hero blinks on in. He doesn't actually get the tank.
Oh, he got the tank. Did he deny combat shield? Stim! He denied Stim! Look at the very last second. Combat shield and Stim are denied. The Stalkers have to get out of there, but what an opening by Hero.
Hero effectively just neutered Beyond denying those upgrades. Oh my gosh. And then, yeah, the tanks are dead too. Like, there's no tanks for Bjorn, so Hero can play with these Blink Stalkers all day, because it's not like Bjorn can stim after them. What a nightmare.
Wow. Colossus extended from a lance on the way here from Hero. I mean, having to restart Stim and Combat Shield at 7.5 minutes is brutal.
Yeah, Bjorn picked this map, but he's really wishing he spawned bottom side right now.
Definitely. That little blink up area is fantastic. Anywho, gonna recall back home. I am not sure what we did that for, but it's a move out. It's going to be a little bit later on the stim timing than he wants it to be. There you go. Medevac gets chased away. Stasis catching 2 Widow Mines. That's kind of fun. And a revelation on everything else. So Hero knows exactly what's going on over here. He sees the landing of the 3rd CC. He's down on the bottom left chasing that Medevac. Did he blink onto... Did he get it? No. Too deep into the dead airspace for that to happen. Hero's just going home. Alright. Colossus going to be a thing here. Quite a few Marauders. We do obviously have that Viking, which is going to be good against the Colossus as well. Army value 73 to 53 in favor of Bjorn, and Stim and Combat Shield are finishing up momentarily with the Concussive Shell upgrade getting started here now. Ghost Academy getting cost down by the Terran player as well. So yes, we did have those upgrades delayed. It's giving Hero a little more breathing room for a 4th base, getting some disruptors out, finishing up that extended thermal lance. Now Bjorn's got his upgrades. He's got the Stim, he's got the Combat Shield, he's got Widow Mines, he's got a Viking. Medevac killed with all hands aboard, and Bjorn's charging in with that Stim upgrade into this 4th base. Widow Mines getting picked off from distance by the range on those Colossus. Loving that. Another Widow Mine dies. Widow Mine does hit a Zealot. A little bit of splash damage on that Stalker. And Beyond's in full retreat with a drop coming in on the counter side.
Yeah, the drop does get intercepted by Hero, so Beyond has to unload all these units. Now he's kiting back. Loses most of those medivacs. 2 of them anyway. And that's a pretty good trade for the Protoss. Another medivac gets sniped down. GG, Beyond just taps out.
Yeah, I was looking at that worker. Yeah, Hero's got a worker advantage, and he's got a bit of an army advantage there, but I don't think that's a reason to completely tap out by Beyond. What an interesting opening that was for game number 1 here. Huh. I mean, I'm sure getting those upgrades canceled was super frustrating for Beyond, and I'm sure that worked into his decision to just tap out there. Plus, that medevac that had, I mean, full of Marines that got killed down there at the south side of the base, that was a major problem. And obviously, that counter drop getting intercepted as well. So Hero just on top of things for game number 1 here. Looking great. Looks like it's Beyond's Mac pick. And Hero, I mean, looking like a bit of an unstoppable monster here, which not too surprising. I'm sure you saw the name Hero and were like, yeah, he's probably a favorite to win this thing.
Yeah, definitely in current form. Hero is looking next level, that's for sure.
Amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and click that follow button and make an account on SOOP if you haven't already. We've had quite a few of you talking in chat tonight.
Yeah, go ahead, sign up for an account, give a follow, give a thumbs up to the stream here too. We're going to be here, man. This is the site for professional StarCraft, cast by Laughing Games and Falcon Paladin every couple of weeks, guys. So sign up so you know when the next events are happening. And be here, be square, be cool, and we will talk to you if you talk to us. So yeah, Commissar says Hero looks like the best player in the world the last 2 weeks. John Solo agrees.
I'd agree. Because all the... Yeah, it's tough to say, but definitely more so than usual, because lately, like the usual guys you'd say are the best players in the world, like Cyril and Clem, have been looking more fallible, so...
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Cyril looks far from the unstoppable monster he looked like for years and years. I mean, it started at the Esports World Cup, but I mean, even, you know, beyond that, it's kind of continuing. So, interesting times, gotta say that.
Okay, and here we are. Match number 2 of this best of 7 in the top right of Ultra Love. It's Hero.
In the bottom left, it is Beyond. Looking fancy in his red. Psycon says competition at the top is fiercer than I can ever remember in terms of fighting who could win at any time. Upsets happen often at many levels now. It's crazy and it's fun. I concur. It is more fun to have anybody, you know, upsets possible. Anybody can win anything, it feels like, and a lot more fun for some people than obviously having just kind of a super dominant player who wins everything. Although other people do prefer when there's a super dominant player who wins everything. It's a little bit easier to follow and kind of more fun for them, but yeah, I'm with Psycons on that.
Yeah, I'm liking it right now. The new patch, while it definitely had some flaws, I think it has done its job of shaking things up. That's for sure.
Yeah, and if Hero can make it work, if we get some Protoss representation and winning a Premier Tournament for the first time in like 3 years, I am down. Let's go.
Well, right now we have We have Max Pax Hero and Cyril in the top 3 of Masters Coliseum. So the odds of a Protoss winning it are pretty good, seeing as how
pretty good.
How good Hero looks and how Cyril has fallen to some Protoss lately.
Right. 100%. So yeah, I mean, we were all pretty critical of the balance update that we got from the Balance Council, but I don't know, maybe it's kind of working out for them. Maybe they had a vision that we couldn't see.
Yeah,
speaking of vision, hallucinated Phoenix seeing everything Bjorn is doing.
Sees the 3rd CC, and Hero will probably... Well, he can either respond by getting aggressive with his blink, or just by going for an absurdly quick 3rd Nexus himself.
Let's see what the man chooses to do. Looks like Teddy Bear's gifted a subscription to Psycons. Thanks, Teddy Bear. Very cool.
Oh, very cool. Thanks, Teddy
Bear.
Bear.
He gifted subs.
Yeah, he gifted some earlier as well. He gifted 10 earlier, so...
Oh,
very cool.
Teddy Bear. Going hard today. Awesome stuff, man. Thanks. Is Sentry working away on...
And a probe. Don't forget the probe.
Oh, my mistake. He also has a probe on this. What the... I like that the animators in StarCraft 2 made this attack like appropriately kind of like wibbly wobbly, so it doesn't look like it's very strong.
Yeah.
Because it's really not very strong.
Oh, he's got help. More Sentry. Oh, these guys are just watching though. Oh, no, there we go.
What is this build? Why do we have 4 sentries at 4 minutes?
What if they all got crushed by the tower too? That would be fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Hero just taps out.
He'd be like,
all right, not my game. That was really close. Dude, I saw a game. It was a PvP where this dude went mass sentry against a Protoss opponent. It kind of worked better than it ever should have. I mean, it wasn't like pro level, but still, I mean, seeing somebody actually making mass sentry work in 2025 was mind-blowing to me. So anyway, probably not mass sentry if I had to guess what's going on here.
Okay, so Bjorn's got his 3rd CC up. He'll be looking to land that in a moment. Hero won his battle against the rocks. His 3rd Nexus is chugging away. And then we have got no signs of a 4th or further tech just yet, so we'll have to keep eyes on that. For now, though, the Stalkers are moving out, looking to grab whatever they can. Stim is done for the bio, but there's no Medivac really to support it, so Hero is getting some good trades with these Stalkers.
Yeah. So kiting, with Stalkers is always pretty good. They've got that range, but if they take hits, they're pretty unhappy about that. RoboBay coming in from Hero, getting a +1 attack. Immortals walking around this big, giant, I don't know, volcanic eruption that's happening here, I guess. Kind of looks like that. Yeah, Psychons. We got tons of Oracles back when Oracles were broken. Yes, 100%. We used to get that, but... Anyway, yeah, gonna knock through this. Be like, hey, these are knocked down. You'd never guess what knocked these down, Bjorn. Never in a million years would you guess correctly.
He doesn't know all the hard work that went into this.
So using the blink micro, back to a shield battery, can do a force field cut in half here if Bjorn extends too far into that little choke, so he's holding back for now.
That is a lot of sentry energy. Hero can just splice and dice Bjorn's army as he wishes. So we do have a Ghost Academy on the way for Bjorn, so that's going to be very helpful when it comes to dealing with all these sentries.
100%. A giant EMP would be fantastic on that group of high energy units. Without a doubt, extended thermal lance getting started here. More Colossus being added in. He's knocking down his own debris that he worked so hard to put there. This time with Stalkers, the sentries are helping. They're helping undo the work that they did. He wants a bit of a wider opening there for some reason. Beyond kind of going down, coming up the other side. Hero intercepting that, though. And there's that force field. Not quite perfect. Units are coming through. There we go. Does get the wall up. Sentries providing that DPS. In addition to the force fields, blinking back. Colossus doesn't have the range upgrade yet, but helping to burn down these Marines a little bit. And yeah, Hero is chasing. Beyond is backing out just a little bit. High ground now belongs to the Protoss. And Beyond, does he want to go up that ramp any further? Not right now, anyway.
Yeah,
DT
Medivac.
Shrine coming on from Hero. Love that.
Need a second to heal up those Marauders and Marines, but they will get the job done.
Yeah, it's so tricky getting in there, getting a shot off on a Marauder, and getting out before you get tagged. It is
yeah.
such titchy micro.
Like, there's a million other things you have to be doing, macroing up while you're trying to do that micro as well. So Hero has really shown his skill, the fact that he's still microing those. He does lose an Observer. That definitely hurts, as you need vision to have success with those.
Yeah, 100%. Vision's nice, detection's nice, especially if you're dealing with ghosts that may or may not be cloaked here eventually. But yeah, just kind of dancing around the middle here. Beyond's got a better army value. He's got a bigger worker count too, plus those mules. Income's looking pretty good here from Beyond. And looks like maybe he's setting up for a fourth base up that left side, if I had to guess where he's going to go with that next. There you go, picking off a Marine, just slowly whittling down Marines, Marauders. Another attempt to knock down and destroy debris here. He likes these wide open spaces. He wants to be able to get concave set up, but the man's getting DT Blink. Hero.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Shadow Stride is on the way in that production tab.
Maybe anticipating the game to go quite long, which wouldn't surprise me, seeing as how it is ultra love. Beyond is floating over to take that fourth base. Meanwhile,
There it
Hero
is, up the left side.
has his fifth base on the way up.
Yep. So, I mean, you get to a fifth base, you are deep into late game TVP here. I know it's only 9 minutes, but the way these guys are macroing, banana stuff. So they've just been kind of flirting in the middle here. Nobody's committing to anything right now. Just poke in, kill some stuff, poke out, take some losses. More Vikings being added in to deal with the Colossus. Love that maneuver. DT does get into the fourth base. 7 or 8 SCVs died. There was another one that died somewhere. Someone's still killing SCVs somewhere. There he is. Big time hits here. 12 SCVs down. Charge lots into the natural base as well. Kind of getting dragged in to the entire army showing up, locking them outside of the main base. 17 SCVs have died. Is there more?
Oh.
Since the match, 29 SCVs are getting murdered. One of these Colossus, the is getting that. Too much damage. Young, take 51 SP.
Falcon, you're roboting so hard.
Oh no. I was up and what is happening here?
Discord says my connection is fine.
Excellent. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm losing it over.
we have got AI Falcon. He's a robot. There we go. Now it seems fine.
Oh, we're back?
Yeah. Maybe.
Sure, why not? We could disconnect and hop back in.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Okay.
Seems good.
All right. Yep. Lost me over there on the picture, but there we go.
And you're roboting again. Gosh darn it, Discord. What does the ping bar for Discord say for you?
Red. 5,000 milliseconds.
Can you change server perchance?
Yes. Maybe.
I know you used to be able to. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still looking back over there.
One second while we get this squared away.
Green are okay. I'm alright with that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we're going to try and give it a go.
Right.
Let's get
Terribly sorry.
Falcon into the game first.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm just watching the end of that last game. There is a DT in the 4th base that is getting 16, 17. There are zealots inside the 3rd base hacking SCVs to death here too. And yeah, that was a 20-something kill DT in the 4th base of Beyond that killed so many SCVs. So that was a big part of it. Anywho, let's hop into the next game. Enough of the last one. As crazy as that was, man, he didn't even have Shadow Stride yet, I don't think. He was just dropping DTs, just walking them into that mineral line and murdering stuff.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do with DTs most of the time. Just walk them into a mineral line and let them do their thing. All right, El Dorado here. Still looking green on Discord, so knock on wood.
Okay, and here we are. In the left-hand side of El Dorado, it's Hero.
And in the bottom right of El Dorado, he's Byun. Byun. Byun Byun. Okay, no crazy proxies here in the opening. No barracks out on the map. No gateways out on the map either. Everything is fine and normal on El Dorado, which is a map where you spawn on the same side as your opponent, which makes it one of my favorites by default. You get weird games on maps like this. The players don't like playing them all that much, which is why I'm kind of surprised we got this in game number 3.
Yeah.
But maybe Bjorn's got some plans here.
Maybe he's got some plans. Was it Bjorn who we saw just go like super macro? I think it was Bjorn versus Hero where he went like super macro on this map, wasn't it? Where he had like 8 command centers and was like blocking his own stuff. I want to say.
I'm trying to remember that.
Oh dear, Discord. Let's try a different server.
Again.
Have you set your region, or
How do you do
it's
that?
just in the upper right, underneath the question mark? It says region.
Yeah. Oh, no. Good. No. No.
Hmm.
Assume U.S. West. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just freezing instantly. We got a Stargate from Hero and Nexus as Beyond pokes with his Reaper but doesn't get anything. Hey, hey, hey. I cannot hear you if you're talking. Guys, thanks for sticking with us through these technical difficulties. These two players are skirmishing on the map a little bit. Byun may lose a Hellion, as Hero has his large adept presence. I still can't hear you. How do you change your settings on this battle net? Why would you
Hey,
not?
hey.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Hey, hey, hey. Am I here?
Yeah, I can
So
hear
you
you.
gotta go into, so BattleNet, settings, left side, voice chat, and then you can change your output and input device.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, they don't let you do that inside the call.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
that's ridiculous. What terrible design.
Oof.
Anyway, thanks so much to everyone for
Anyway.
sticking with us. Discord is a terrible platform.
Apparently. It's never been this bad for me before. But always a first day. First time for everything is what they say. Oh, all right. Where are we? 54 to 54 supply on the nose. Big fan. Bigger army from Beyond doesn't really mean much right now. Obviously, he's got more. Hero's got more workers. Phoenix, more Phoenix on the way. With a with a Twilight. Okay, are we going Phoenix Adept in 2025? Laughing Games. What do you think?
Apparently, Phoenix
and
Charge.
Immortals.
Which
All right, big fan.
It does seem a little crazy because, like, he must be throwing down a Templar Archive soon. Because he's gonna have so much gas. He's on 2 bases, 4 gas, and yet he's building Charge. Unless he's just gonna spend all that gas on Immortals and Phoenix, which I guess.
Entirely possible. Sure. Mortals and Phoenix. That's a build against Terran in 2025. 2025 is early yet. Who knows?
Yeah, the question is going to be whether Byun sort of sniffs this out, that Hero is only just getting up his 3rd base, so he's going to have some push potential. As I say push potential, though, I realize that Hero's only on 2 gateways, so it is a very weird way to go about this.
100%. Yeah, he just continues to pump out Phoenix here. That 3rd Nexus warping, and he does throw down a robotics bay here at 615. Okay, Charge Lot Phoenix Colossus, Charge Lot Phoenix Disruptor.
I mean, Phoenix Colossus is a lot better than Phoenix...
Charge Lot.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, 100%.
You see Hero getting a a pylon for vision, maintaining vision in the middle of the map thanks to that handy-dandy probe. Preventing drops and stuff getting off. Byun really doesn't have to worry too much about a direct attack at this point in the game, though. More so just about pushes on his front. A scan goes down to kill an observer. That's quite nice.
Yeah, it's always a win. Doesn't mean you're going to win the game, but we take those. And then, yeah, Phoenix just died into the main base. Okay, a little bit. Then immediately evac, thanks to the presence of turrets and cyclones, which have good range, good anti-air. And the Phoenix just aren't getting a ton done here. Third base getting saturated now by Byun. He's getting a Ghost Academy and an Armory. Phoenix killing a couple SCVs here. It's not quite like getting a DT inside your mineral line, but still, 4 SCVs at this stage of the game is a big chunk of your SCVs. Colossus, extended thermal lance, a +2 attack getting started here by Hero all at about the same time. And let's see if he goes for a 4th base up that left side or not. Expanding towards Beyond, probably not something he's got on his plans right.
Yeah,
Phoenix just harassing, dude. They killed a Marauder. I haven't seen a Phoenix ball kill a Marauder in a while. It's just no real reason to try it. It takes, yeah, way too many hits.
There could be some very vulnerable ghosts as well. And look at that, 2 Marauders maybe getting grabbed right now. Medivacs as well, maybe?
Trying. Medivacs are a little bit, you know, they can jump out of the way with their boost ability at least.
Build another turret behind.
I know, one more turret. You've got the money for it. You're making ghosts and stuff. Man, Marines is having a tough go of it here. Holding on to the Zelnaga Watchtower is Hero, and he is expanding towards Beyond. What a madman. He's taking his 4th base closer to Beyond, who has a giant Marauder Marine army. It looks like they mined through that right mineral patch for a single file entry into the southern section here. Actually, he just mined, opened it a little bit bigger. And now there is a 2 mineral patch opening to get down to the south, which is not good news from Hero. He does not want easy access over ground to that 6 o'clock position, which he has taken, which is a gold base, which has high ground that can mess with that mineral line. So another base coming in here from Beyond. Love the expansion timings from Beyond quite a bit. Charge lots, Stalkers, Colossus with extended thermal lance. Let's not forget about that. Marine comes down to see what's going on down this way. Gets shot in the face for his problem. For his trouble there. Yeah, more Colossus coming in. John's 4th base continuing to be made right on top of things. The robotics facility on the way here from here. More and more barracks getting fired up. Yeah, we're just getting into the late game here of PvT, especially with those ghosts, especially with these Colossus and these disruptors. Colossus dies. Ghosts ready to toss out EMPs on anything that gets too close to them. And then Hero maybe jumping on this 4th. Dude, totally can snipe that SCV. Nice. And stop construction on the sensor tower temporarily as well. Nice little poke in and poke out delay on the 4th. That is a big win for Hero for sure. High ground with the 3 Colossus. The magic number is here.
Yeah, Byun only has 1 Viking. He's making 2 more presently. Mass Ghosts definitely will help out as well, but as far as having the Vikings he needs, they're not there. He had a bit of a nice start as far as the timings went because Hero had this wacky opening, but Byun didn't really capitalize on it at all. Hero's got the gold base up, so his income is just ginormous on these 4 bases. And it's important to keep in mind, even if Byun manages to squeeze out a few Vikings, there's plenty of Phoenix in the sky, which are going to cause problems for those as well.
Yeah, this is looking tough. Stalkers again trying to be mobile, trying to bait out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Getting a hit on a Cyclone. Trying to get another shot in there. That's a big ball of Marine and Marauder. Very, very scary stuff.
Did Byun see that big Zealot run by moving towards his right side? I guess the answer is no.
To attack, but he's repositioning.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he does see it, and that concussive shell is the anti-Zealot maneuver for sure. Hero probably going to expand up this left side. 3-3 getting fired up from Byun, engaging. Vikings getting hits off on these Colossus, getting burned out by Stalkers at the same time. EMPs do get tossed down, making these guys a little bit softer on the Protoss side of things. Charge lots do run into the third base here. SCV's getting pulled out, not before 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of them get killed. That number keeps going up. Zealot should get cleaned out eventually, and they do with 10 SCVs down though. That is a big time attack. 68 to 64 workers now. Beyond is trying to replace them. Having the fourth base is a big part of that for sure. Waiting for that 3-3 to kick in.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad trade, I don't think, for Bjorn, as he is up on army supply now. He's stimming forward, looking to pounce on Hero. Hero's not paying attention, loses a large chunk of his army. Bjorn does beautiful splits against the disruptors for the most part. And now he's continuing to push forward. There's only one Colossus left. That goes down. Immortal's going down. Everything is going down.
Yeah, 99 to 44 army supply. All of a sudden, Bjorn is way up. He was chasing. He had the instinct to try to throw it down. Throws down a mule at the front here to... Oh, mine through this mineral wall further, I guess. Sure. Why not, I suppose. Yeah, that Viking count landing the Vikings to engage here against these Stalkers. That bonus damage versus the mechanical kicking in. EMP is going down. I think Hero's just going to tap out here. He is not microing with these Stalkers at all. He knows he's down 2-1 in overall army supply. The Simulator's going to go down. He's trying to produce more Disruptors, more Zealots, but I mean, it is 10 units at a time, 12 units at a time from Bjorn. He's going to be maxed out soon.
Yeah, it's good to see Bjorn overcome that kind of fear factor from Hero. Sometimes players are afraid to push out when they have a good window against Hero. Bjorn really seized the day with that attack forward. He's now bullying the Protoss. He's massively up on supply. 3-3 is done. Marauders are stimming forward, grabbing one of the Disruptors. Hero's fighting for his life right now, however. It's Stalkers and Zealots with Disruptors against all this bio for Bjorn. And if Bjorn splits like he's been doing, he should be fine.
Yeah, he'd have to take a massive Disruptor hit for this really to go south for him at this point. Harassing from the other side of this gold mineral line. Crazy annoying stuff. Disruptor shot, gets nothing done. More Disruptors gonna stir out some more Purification Novas down the right side here too. And they do get a nice hit there. A Ghost, at least one Ghost got exploded with that Nova. 2 more Ghosts in production. 109 to 70 supply. Hero kind of catching up in overall army supply here, which is bananas. That should not be happening here, but Hero is, there you go, taking out a Viking, blinking away as necessary. Kind of giving up on that Nexus is necessary too, and Bjorn's expanding up the top right side as he tries to burn down this Nexus from across that wall.
Yeah, Hero is up on income, or he was massively up on income because he had 2 gold bases that were mining despite Bjorn having the massive army advantage. Bjorn is gonna disrupt mining further by landing at this gold base. These units could be a little overextended though as Hero's moving forward. He's looking to catch Bjorn off guard though. The Terran player is not, as he splits his bio, but he does eat a few big Disruptor connections.
Dude, he killed some of his own Zealots there, but also got some really big hits against those Marauders especially. That was nice. Doom dropping a bit into the main base here of Hero. I guess a regular drop. Yeah, 111 to 88 army supply. Charge loss soaking up that damage as necessary. EMPs getting tossed down by Bjorn all over the place. The main base of Hero still having major problems as this army of Bjorn thinks it can win this battle. I'm not sure that it can. They come out of the main base, having accomplished what they need to do. Army value now about 20 in ahead in overall in supply here. This Colossus dancing like crazy. There's not a lot of stuff left inside those medevacs. So yeah, they're going to show up. Medevac's going to die. Another Medevac's going to die. Medevac's fleeing. And suddenly it's only a 10 army supply advantage here from Bjorn. This base is not getting upgraded to an orbital either, which would be nice. More and more Vikings being added in here from Bjorn, and just 5 Marauders, 5 Marines at... Yo. I don't know. Still feels like Bjorn has this, but Hero's making it a lot closer than he has any right to. Those gold bases.
He really is. He's doing a beautiful job.
Colossus. It's only the one Colossus here, but it is putting in serious hurt on everything. Blinking forward. These Stalkers, what is happening right now? Now he's the one who's chasing. Army value is even. How? It was a 50 supply advantage on Army for Bjorn like 3 or 4 minutes ago. And now Heroes evened up the army supply. He's mining up that left side. The gold base is continuing to provide that income. Absolutely incredible comeback here from Hero. He managed to win this game. Even if he doesn't manage to win the game, so what a job just to get back to here.
Yeah, it is not easy to kill Hero. And players genuinely seem scared to take things, to take pushes against him at times, or at least Bjorn does. And now, yeah, we've got to see if Bjorn can take another good fight against the army of Hero. He is adding in Liberators, he's got Ghosts, Vikings. I think his composition is better because Hero's just got 34 Zealots in his army. Bjorn also has a Planetary he can retreat to if things get too hairy as well.
Yeah, it's always nice as a Terran to be able to fall back to the safety of that Planetary with all that they feel, though it does only have 2 armor now instead of 3. Hero pounces on it anyway, though. So many Zealots absorbing so much damage. Colossus burning everybody alive as they're stuck in there with their Colossus. It's 90 to 74 army supply. Gun is up, but he's losing Liberators. The Stalker count is enough to take those guys out of the sky before they get too many hits off, if any at all. Another tried a huge warping of Zealots there. War Prism got wiped out, but it doesn't matter. The counterattack of Hero succeeds, and Bjorn taps out Hero. Wins game number 3. Absolutely bananas. Holy cow, what a win there from Hero.
Wow.
Yeah, and like he keeps saying, I mean, it's a question of, are people afraid of Hero? Not willing to pass like Bjorn in that game, or is Hero just good enough that it doesn't matter if you pounce on the window or not? He's just going to take you down regardless. He is looking so scary right now. Wow. All right, so Bjorn immediately is like, let's do ley lines real quick. That should be fine. Yeah, Surfbound is like, no way, Hero's on fire. Commissar says, no, he wins this. Miro gives us a GG. Yeah, I thought for sure that Bjorn was going to win that game. We'd be moving on. Bjorn would take some confidence in getting the win, looking really good on a map that goes, but instead, no. Really, really bad times. And now he's down 3-0 in a best of 7. Hero. Hero.
Okay, let's go to ley lines and see if Hero can pull it back. It's not going to be, or pardon me, if Bjorn can pull it back. It's not going to be easy for him, as this match, I believe, is a rematch from our last event. Bjorn got to the finals of that. Or no, he didn't, pardon me. Bjorn played Hero and he lost in the first match. Okay, that's right.
Right. Yeah. Man, what an... the comeback. Hero looks unstoppable, which is good. I mean, it's nice to be able to say that about a Protoss player, I guess, other than Max Pax at this point, because Max Pax is looking absolutely scary too. He just doesn't, play in the in-person event. So does he count? I don't know. We've had this discussion. So we're going into ley lines.
Yeah, and there we are in ley lines.
Woof.
Okay, in the top right, he's on the ropes and it looks like he's going for a dirty proxy to see if he can bring it back or end it. It is Bjorn.
And in the bottom left, looking like the monster that he is today, it is Hero.
Yeah, Bjorn, funnily enough, Bjorn started the day off with a proxy like this. If he goes to the same spot and builds proxy marauders, okay, he's going slightly more left, but it does seem like
effectively the same place.
It's probably going to be the same build. Like, it was over here earlier, and it worked against Joan. He went for an SCV pull and ended it, but Bjorn is actually doubling down with this against Hero, sending a second SCV.
Yes, let's go. Let's go, Bjorn. Proxy. Surfound agrees with this call from Bjorn, and I think I'm with him as well. So, yes, 2 Rex coming in. Hero is checking for the proxies. He's looking the wrong way. He's now heading left, though. Dude, he's gonna find it. He's gonna find it, isn't he?
Uh,
Depends on how far left he goes. Oh, wait, no. Not going left at all. Now heading only right. Dude, Bjorn's getting away with this. This is awesome.
yeah, this is quite nice for Bjorn because Hero is sending his probe across the map, but it's a delayed probe scout. It checked those corners and stuff first, which is the worst order for the Protoss.
Oh, man. All right. So now the probe's going to get up here and be like, huh, you don't have a barracks at the top of your ramp. Crap. Probably a proxy. Yep,
Yeah.
immediately just goes home. Says, alert, alert. We got to making a zealot immediately. There's that concussive shell upgrade getting fired up. Nope, cancels it, gets a stalker instead. So how about a stalker? Let's get warp gate as fast as possible. Let's try to throw up a couple shield batteries. Yep. And the Marauders are coming post-haste.
Triple batteries.
I like it. Just concussive shell Marauders are monsters in the early game and in the late game while we're at it. Blocks the probe inside the main. Crazy annoying. Here we go. SCVs and a Marauder showing up.
4
right
batteries.
at that first set. Shield battery. Wow. This one stalker is unkillable.
It really is.
I don't know, man. 3 Marauders is really scary.
Yeah,
Well, 2 stalkers now, though.
Batteries are good. Does Bjorn wait for 5 Marauders and maybe he can damage down the Stalkers?
Maybe.
I don't know
but
how many
he
it
doesn't-
takes.
I don't either. He can't regen his HP either, right?
No.
So, where Hero can regen his HP,
He
but
can
Bjorn can't
juggle
regen
them,
any
though.
of his
Like,
HP. That's true.
He's got the injured one in the back, which is important. Hero's building a wall, getting out a sentry as well to drop a force field, which can interrupt Bjorn potentially targeting these all down. There's the 6th Marauder out. And Bjorn's like, come on out, I dare you. Last time he pulled all the boys, and this time he's doing it again. Is Hero
Here
prepared
we
for this?
go.
I'm not sure he is. The sentry is out. Doesn't have an energy
Sentry.
recharge to drop more than 1 force field. No, it doesn't. In goes Bjorn. SCVs are fighting probes. Marauders are trying to damage down the Stalkers. There's the big volleys. 1 dead. He's targeting down a battery next, one that's at full energy. As Bjorn pushes on in, the sentry's dead. More probes are pulling for Hero, but it might be a little bit too late. 3 Stalkers remain. 2 Stalkers remain.
Wow, all the probes get blocked out and by his own force field. Very weird
Think
stuff.
Bjorn did it.
Yeah, probes fighting SCDs, not what they want to do. More Marauders are pouring into the natural base. It is 18-2 army supply. Bjorn. 4 stalls. The loss gets the win with a proxy Marauder unscouted.
That is Bjorn's build of the day, apparently. On the same map as he took Joan down with it, he takes Hero down with basically the same thing.
Incredible. What a win.
Yeah, that was really well done. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and click that follow button if you haven't already on the stream. Make an account. Guys in chat even saying it literally takes like 2 seconds to make an account on SOOP. It's incredible. And now Hero picks Frost.
Yeah, let's go Frostline. Beyonderful, says John Solo. What's up, John? That's great. Yo, yeah, I mean, look, Proxy Marauder with Concussive Shell still has a place in 2025. It's good to see it. Still really powerful, especially if entirely unscouted, turns out.
The pulling of the boys really is the icing on the cake. It's like, huh, he built batteries. But a bunch of SCVs can overcome. All right, both players are ready. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in today on SOOP for the SOOP Starcraft Global number 11. It's been really fun casting these games, and we'll see if Bjorn can pull it back. I wonder what he's going to do in this one.
Yeah, I can't exactly do the same build twice in a row. I mean, nothing's technically stopping you, but probably not something you'll get away with. What's up, Aki? All right, bottom left of Frostline, a very frosty, wintry map appropriate for January in the Northern Hemisphere. It's Hero.
And in the upper right, representing Rebellion, it's Bjorn. And oh, look at this. This is a very early probe for Hero.
Certainly is. What are we doing over here, Senor Probe? What is your plans for today? Not looking like a proxy.
No.
Just a little bit of a crazy early harass? He's just making sure he's not getting proxied, I guess.
Yeah, Hero's like, fool me once, shame on me.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. Surfound says, going to be scouting for proxies like crazy. And this is scouting for a proxy, right? If you show up here and there's not a barracks coming up, you know you're being proxy. So just getting an early probe out, seeing what's going on, recognizing the barracks is coming up here, safe inside the main base from beyond is all he needs to know. Not worry about expanding again. Whereas in the last game, expanding probably what killed him. So, tough. Really wants an SCV.
He's being such a nuisance with this probe.
I mean, all the good Protoss players are. Skill you gotta develop. You gotta force the Terran player to lose some of their concentration dealing with your probe. Hey, we got Hans Smuff, FF666, donating $10 to the prize pool for these players. Excellent stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much for supporting the event.
Yeah, and Phoenix of War for the $20 donation as well. All right, man. Probe blocking the expansion attempt here by Beyond as long as it can. Oh, gets it down on location too, mind you. That is pretty nice by Beyond. Although, ooh, yeah, Probe's taking a few too many hits to be able to harass that further. Is going to back it out, maybe regen a little bit of shield and then come back. Yeah, just kind of hanging out over that way. Everything is totally fine.
Probe is mistimed a little bit. He was hoping the Reaper would be further across the map. Oh, look
Did
at
have
this.
a big message thanking everyone for the 25-cent donations, but that got blocked by auto moderator. Bummer. Ooh, really fast concussive shell opening here from Beyond. He's like, you know what was really good last game? Concussive shell. Marauder slow has been good. Every time this shows up, I just have to remember, back in the beta, Wings of Liberty, Marauders just got slow by, as a matter of fact. He made a Marauder, it had concussive shell.
Nope. Almost gets that probe. Oh, and the probe's blocking. But he somehow snuck through.
Wow. Sneaky, sneaky, slippery guy. Oh, trying to delay construction on this command center, the ring around the Rosie. Excellent stuff.
Marauder and Adept fights really are something special.
Very fun. And yeah, the slow is done here, so... Yeah, these Adepts aren't really going to want to fight all that much. They'll fight Reapers all the live-long day, though. 88 charge, blowing that guy into the air, and the Reaper goes down anyway. Oracle Productions begun here from Hero. I'm not sure the Reaper actually scouted that, though.
Add-on.
He did.
Nice. Good scout.
So we do
Twilight
have a
getting fired up
Cyclone.
here, too. Cyclone on the other side, pretty good against Oracles, pretty good against Phoenix, pretty good against anything that dives into your base from the skies especially. That's why we see Cyclones all the time in every matchup. So Adepts fighting Marauders. Nobody does full damage here. Nobody does like bonus damage at all. One of the Adepts goes down, and then burning down the Marauders with the Oracle is pretty good too.
That is
Dude,
not
this Oracle's
good.
just gonna win. Oh, Cyclone's like, no, you're not. Get out of here. 3 SCVs die. The Adept's having a field day while everyone's worried about that Oracle. And another two. We brought more SCVs down to the natural base. They're going to die too. 3, 4, 5 SCVs are down. Beyond getting picked apart just a little bit here. And Hero is getting Blink on the other side.
Yeah, that is a lot of pain for Bjorn. Well done to Hero for pushing so hard with that. I honestly think Bjorn probably would be best off to roll the dice by making like a tank or something and just going for a stim timing. Or maybe more Cyclones, I don't know. Well, there is a tank on the way. Because Hero has set himself up very well if the game goes on for more than the next couple minutes. He's got that third on the way. Gateway's building, Blink on the way. Whereas Bjorn is only 40 seconds away from stim, so there is some potential here.
Little stasis getting tossed down here and there and everywhere. Beyond getting an early tank. Oracle diving a little bit. He knows how far he can go without dying. That was a little bit scary with double Cyclone in there, firing away.
Oh, good. Almost catch by Bjorn.
Brutal. Wanted that so bad, too. I felt it.
Okay, Bjorn.
Yeah, tank production here. Loving it.
Yeah, he's not going for the earliest push in the world, but he's got combat shield and +1 on the way. Like, this has to be a push in the next couple minutes.
Some kind of a timing here. Maybe with +1 after combat shield's already done. He's making another siege tank. So, I mean, we're going to have at least 3 siege tanks on this push. Here he comes across the map. It's really hard to do this without getting spotted.
The 2 Cyclones are in trouble. Stalkers blink on top of them.
Yeah, Cyclone's running, but that blink cooldown is not that long.
Okay, is Bjorn going to suss out that there's a stasis ward waiting for him, though? Is he paying attention? He stims a few Marines there. He sees it.
Oh, fantastic.
Another one's
Beyond.
building. The Oracle does get caught. Bjorn can just take that out. Tanks are sieging at the front. And the stasis will go down. Double bunkers building.
Really nice. Forward bunkers. More boys getting pulled off the line here. Stalkers coming back home. We only have Stalker sentries and adepts here. Got to make sure the bunkers don't come up. Blinking on top of this. Focusing down the tank. The tank does go down. Force field keeping everybody out of the way here. There's one shield battery here. More Marauders showing up. More boys getting pulled. More siege tanks got to be showing up here eventually too, right?
I believe there is one tank crossing the map. It's taken its sweet time, though. Bjorn does have a bunker he can fall back to and potentially set that tank up with, but Hero might have slowed this down enough to have the success that he needed. The SCVs can mass repair / soak. Hero is poking out. The tank is definitely complicating things, though. That battery does perish. However, I mean, he's got a third base. He's got so many gateways up. Bjorn is under pressure right now. Good snipe on the tank by Hero. There's not that much Terran bio left. At the same time, it is 37 supply to 22 supply. The problem is when Hero hits an 8 gateway warp, and that supply is going to be even, basically. And that is just stimmed bio. Bjorn even cancels one of his bunkers, I guess because he's so broke and needs whatever he can. Hero has successfully dragged this out for so darn long. Bjorn is moving forward. The stim bio is a glass cannon in the red. He's moving forward, cornering some of these units. Unpowers a gateway, kind of retreating towards the bunker. Probes are being pulled. It's so darn close. But I think Bjorn is just going to run out of steam as more zealots close the gap. And that is GG.
Yeah, when you all in that much with that many SCVs and you don't pull off the win at that point, don't get enough damage, that is just a GG for sure. So GG's to Hero, man. Dropped 1 map today, 3-0 Dark, 4-1 Bjorn. Absolutely killing it today from a Protoss perspective. Every Protoss player in chat is cheering wildly right now. Absolutely crazy, crazy showing from him.
Yeah, that was really, really well done by Hero. He's looking like a top dog, as he does in most StarCraft 2 events at the minute. And so we'll definitely look at having him back in the future if we can think of anyone that'll take him down. He's just so darn good.
Yeah, really is. I mean, just a fantastic showing. Us fans everywhere are like doing this. We need someone to win something huge, some in-person hit Hero out.
Yeah, it has been really, really darn good for Hero. And he won the last event. He won this one because he 3-1 Bjorn last game, last series looking as dominant. Then he 4-1 Creator, so a pretty darn good run. Back-to-back events. And
yeah, 100%. Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, check Falcon Paladin and myself laughing games out on YouTube. For those of you wondering, we have YouTube channels where we both post pretty much daily. And yeah, keep an eye out for the next event. It's going to be in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Like clockwork recently. So thanks again for hanging out. Tell your friends there's StarCraft happening late nights on Fridays and Saturdays. Follow on the.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you guys next time. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.